Hi, I'm Todd Wente, and this is the Daily 180. 180 seconds of motivation and inspiration intended to help you take action and improve your life. Today is episode 146 of the Daily 180, and we're continuing our conversation now, concluding our conversation on awareness and talking about the social facet and how awareness might help us in that area. Working with the social facet and with this idea of awareness, I want to change our perspective about a phrase that you've probably used a number of times and that we've probably used in lots of different ways, regardless of where we've been at. And the phrase is, you got to be able to see the forest for the trees. I want to switch that a little bit. We all know, we've all used that phrase, talking about seeing the forest for the trees, when we want to remind someone, it's important to be involved in the small things, in the details of things, but it's important to keep in mind the big picture. Sometimes when we talk about being around our friends, our family, around our social circumstances, we need to be reminded the other way around. Sometimes we're so comfortable looking at the big pictures, we're so comfortable looking at the facades that people put up and keep up to say, I'm just fine, that we miss little indications and we stop being aware that there is more going on underneath the surface in all of our lives than many of us care to admit. Now, I'm not suggesting by any stretch of the imagination that because of this we should all become hypersensitive or feel that it's our responsibility to be investigative reporters or detectives digging into every little thing that people say. But I am suggesting that perhaps when you hear someone say, "I'm all right," or "I'm fine," when you say, "How are you today?" "I'm fine." Well, fine could be a lot of things. Fine could mean everything's absolutely okay and I'm in a wonderful place. Fine could also mean, I really don't want to talk about stuff right now. We've all seen it. We've probably all done it. And being a friend, being in a social relationship, being in a relationship of reciprocal sociality with people means we have to use our best judgment to decide when it's the right time to ask the follow-up question and when it's the right time to say, "I understand." In my own life, it's a tricky deal. But I will say this, two things that I've learned from the process. The first is that when people take the time to say, "That's an interesting response. Are you sure everything's okay? Tell me about what's going on." And they ask a question about your family, about your children, about your work. "Tell me how things are going." It means something, especially if there are people that can say, based on our conversation in the past, "I know that things were difficult. How are things going now?" The other one that I would suggest is that sometimes it just simply takes a moment to say, "I understand. If you'd like to talk further about anything, know that I'm here." Those things can be all that it takes for somebody to feel like they have somebody in their corner. But we have to be aware of the times when people use answers to deflect or defend and be sensitive to the idea that sometimes they need the space and sometimes they need to share. I'm Todd Wente. This has been the Daily 180. Go forth and conquer. We'll see you next time.